The discrimination that we are not allowed to see. The marginalization of the inevitable poverty. Human rights conveniently don't see social economic status as a form of discrimination. The money discrimination is the most common and worldwide spread way of taking the freedom and justice from the people. The same way that rich people can buy their way out of prison, prison is abusively used to punish involuntary and unchangeable situations such as poverty, and people who are in debt or arrested because the government corruption and extortion actions brought also by private companies and banking gambling mafias. Also, many people are arrested by not paying ridiculously huge amounts due many lawsuit cases that are not even made with a single base of crime itself. More people die in prisons every year, more families lose any chances of gain a normal life than another way of discrimination or dictatorship crime. Millions of people around the world are being arrested and stuck in cells with any kind of action that can really be described as criminal act or offense. Owning money or not having debts or not. If your income are not sufficient to pay that debts, no criminal or law book say that is a crime to win low salary, but the same way people make more or less money, most of the times that amount they make are not really up to them. Poverty is a social condition that is aggressively unchangeable in the most of the countries in the world, especially when we are talking about the most poor people in society. The system have a criminal and corrupt way to work, and is knowing by using the same poor people to be stuck on prison and use for slavery work, and none of this people be actually convicted by any action that you can find on criminology and law stipulation of crime and offense. Poverty is made by the rich elites, and rich elites are made by the constant corruption and impunity of this upper class, and conveniently shaped everything in the society to incriminate the poverty, instead of fight the corruption, tax invasions, economic crimes, and many other abuses exclusive from this criminal upper class. The risk of prison, of dying only because the fact some people have no money should be reason enough to consider this a form of discrimination, and of course, what better way of discrimination than study, colleges, degrees, study assistance, car and driver license. Everything have a price that isn't fairly win by anybody and is clearly and factually bad distribute on society. Almost all the conditionals of our life is imposed by money. Money will affect you more than religion, race, or political opinion, and is only a very convenient and may be requested fact that till today no attempts were made for plead money and poverty like a way of discrimination. We are today submerged on the most absurd and impossible laws to be refused because the upper class knows that money will buy their way out. So, no logic, no rationality or justice have to be made with our judicial system, because the Wild West justice of today is only use of the Wild West population that lives with limited rights and opportunities. If the law was fair, and money could not pay your way out, and rich people could be arrested and stuck in cells like anybody else, never ever the upper class could allow such absurdity and insanity to be made out of our judicial system. Today we make the marginalization of the poverty and we confused client satisfaction with actually law and crime. There is no difference between regulation laws and enforcement, and no limits between social condition and consumer punishment. Yes, we punish people for being consumers and sellers, and we sell and buy the crimes and laws that are more convenient and pleasant for our bug owners. We have today perhaps the worst judicial model ever used, but anything that don't spike the banking cartels and upper classes life have no interest or reason to be changed in our society. It's not about the law and justice anymore, is about making everything to be a business, and a business that can buy moral and justice. Such as the results of the investigations and the justice of any human act, and we make that, because is more easy to let the upper classes to take advantage of their stolen money and power, that fight and make the punishment to be exclusively used on real criminals, like for example, that upper class that never was dispossess the money, the capital and social influence made in by their genocides during the colonial and slavery ages. That means, the upper class of today lives with colonial and slavery money and capital, and use this same influence to make sure the political power engage in the marginalization and the discrimination of the lower classes. The main problem of the world is the fact that we never engage on the properly dispossession of the money, the capital, and the social and political influence and control of the colonial and slavery ages.